According to Mythos, 100% of you are subscribed. Good job!
Hello, hello! Welcome to part 5 of the series where we're going to be going over the lore of every single equation that can be found within Honkai Star Rail's Protean Hero Divergent universe. The reason we're doing Propagation is because I just realized that I finished editing and this was supposed to be part 6. I was supposed to be doing the Remembrance for today's upload, but I made an oopsie. So expect the Remembrance afterwards. Anyways, I do have to say that if anything, I am glad that I did this one right now because I had some confusions about like Mnestia, because for context, the propagation according to the equations would be more attuned to the romance, meaning it is Mnestia's. And when I first saw that, I was really confused. But the more I looked into it, the more it made sense. And like, as we go through the equations, it'll make more and more sense slowly but surely. But just trust me, it makes sense. Especially given the fact that Mnestia is a weaver, and what are bugs usually very much associated to? Weaving threads, not just spiders. Like, there's a lot of things that weave threads, including butterflies. But yeah, you guys will see more and more as we go through these equations. That being said, I did find all of this very fascinating, and I do hope you guys enjoy the video. Boulder Court. You want to know where I am going? It's my homeland, surrounded by mountains. The cliffs there are adorned with awkwardly carved flowers, and the dromas rest in the valley, lulled to sleep by laughter of the inhabitants. We were from every corner of Amphorius. In the deep ruins, we wailed in the cold rain until the mountain dwellers took them in. The mountain dwellers lost everything, including their gods. They stopped smelting. Their clumsy hands started to plow and sow. Their sturdy arms cradled new life. Nurture was the last calling left to humans by the Pillar of Stone. The earth has fallen. The core flame carrying beasts have disappeared. And I'll fold my hands in prayer to Georios. May life flourish again. So this seems intriguing, because they do mention in one of the previous equations that removing the core flame from the Pillar of Stone led to a lot of disasters. And I'm wondering if this is also one of the reasons why the mountain dwellers had to like evacuate, because we know about the mountain dwellers from the story that Maide explains to us in the 3.1 storyline. I don't know, I do find it interesting. I would love to see these mountain dwellers, but what really catches my eye is the core flame carrying beasts. Who are those? Creation Nymph. You've surely met the servants of love, the minions of the creators. Undaunted by danger and obstacles, they were butterflies and beetles traversing across strife and the end of times, searching for the shattered remains of the gods for Circes. They reclaimed wisdom from folklore and sacred texts, and gathered romance from couples and love songs. The weavers of love aim to reweave the divine intellect. They weave the love hymns of two gods and all living things. The words once whispered by fate to butterflies are now reproduced within the threads and fabrics. From the first bloom to the last city, should you step into their tapestry, you will find a world upon the Satan. In my view, those weavers of olden days are the greatest bards of Amphorius. So, for the longest time, I was confused as to why Mnestia would be associated with the propagation, in particular because propagation are those ugly as hell bugs. And then I kind of realized that one, Tazenronth has like the shape of a heart on their freaking head, but also the butterflies and the beetles are literally what the propagation are. So that is just like a really cool design in consistency. That being said, additionally, I also learned recently that if you collected 70 creation nymphs throughout Enforius, you can use a code called "If you are reading this," and it will give you 60 stellar jades and 1 fuel. So if you have collected enough nymphs, go do that. Golden Mysteries. I must accuse those fiends who deserve nothing less than eternal torment. The scoundrels who claim to be heirs of Mnestia used forbidden rites to insult gold dust that defiled pure love. The stronger the wind, the farther it spreads. I cannot erase the grotesque scene from my mind. Those confused youths fell in love with whatever appeared before their eyes. Some knelt, humbly begging an apple tree to love them forever. Others took their family in arms. What the fuck? I don't want to read that word, so unholy thoughts growing in their minds. These poor soulless beings, unable to labor or think anymore, only knew to profess their desire to everyone in sight. How pathetic! A city-state once blessed by the chrysalis of gold was destroyed in the very name of love. I really hate this equation. Like, reading it made me feel horrible, especially when I saw the family part, and I was hoping it wouldn't go there, and then it did, in fact, go there. Yeah, no, like, this is the worst equation I've ever seen, and it just shows to confirm that if you're a gooner, you're going to take the world down with you. So be better. Stop it. Thief Musician. Don't blame me for being so harsh. Had it not been for those swindlers, how could we have been so wary? When the shadow of calamity descended upon the village, the minstrels came, singing and dancing. Cloaked in black satin, their beautiful faces carried a tinge of melancholy. They danced barefoot, their steps echoed in harmony with the harp and the drums. The young girls, irresistibly drawn, danced around the bonfire, while the young boys left their fields, gathering in a circle, shoulder to shoulder. They whispered sweet words to the minstrels, draped themselves in satin, and painted their faces with honey, crafting the same patterns. The music, the dance, and the sweet nothings bewitched their souls. The girls and boys followed the minstrels into the deep night, never to return. Okay, so this being, or whatever the hell they are, is incredibly concerning, and it literally kidnaps children, so I really hate it. I'm hoping this is some kind of monster that we can eventually beat the hell out of. That being said though, this does remind me, I feel like there is a story that is literally this, of like a musician taking away children. I know there's the one of the rats, but I believe that there have been other stories adapted where a musician does take away children. So, cool reference, still hate this individual. Book Weaving Divine Machine. Look, I've dug up a gear of the Book Weaving Divine Machine. My ancestors were fortunate enough to behold that magnificent machine. Looming in the valley of the Pioli Mountains, it tirelessly copied knowledge for humanity, day in and day out. Its towering bronze frame soared skyward, adorned with intricate golden threads. Pages cascaded down like a waterfall, spreading the wisdom even to the remotest city-states. If the divine machine willed it, the books it produced could never cover the earth. Alas, this shared treasure of all city-states was ruined by greed. Kings and lords all coveted it, even just a fragment. This mere gear is a piece of its shattered limb, torn apart by humanity. Memory Seed Cultivator. Welcome to my seed greenhouse, honored first visitor. As you can see, there's no soil or seedling here. Those mundane tasks are left to the followers of Diorios. My role is to nurture the seed of memories, ensuring their regular and orderly growth. Look at this pink one. It's the dream of a young girl becoming a dancer. Born into a political dynasty, her fate seems sealed, far from the stage's embrace. Yet, with my incubator, she's dancing gracefully. One day, the girl will come to collect her memory. Trust me, they'll be more vivid than her real-life experiences. Look at the blue one. It holds the dreams of an adventurer. The gold one embodies the dream of a general. And as for those gray ones, they're mere remnants of failed experiments. Okay, this equation seems really intriguing. I like the way that it works with memories and like a person's passion, but at the same time it seems really messed up. Just the fact of like, I don't know, it feels very dystopian that it's like, oh, this person is living the worst possible life where they don't want to be in the spot that they are. But here's what could have been. And this will enrich their soul so much more than their actual life. It feels like it would become like a drug. I don't know. It's really concerning of a concept. It's really cool of a concept though. I like it. Orphan Carehouse. We deeply mourn the loss of Headmistress Cynthia, who passed away in her dream 3 nights ago. It's truly heartwarming to see that all the children returned from all the corners of the world to pay their respects. Those war orphans are now craftsmen, scholars, and artists. The story begins on the day the orphanage was founded. Amidst the war-torn chaos, when blood and fire burned, Headmistress Cynthia brought love and beauty back to this world. She built a home on the island of Doria, warmly taken in like a mother, every child forsaken by the gods. With bread and goat's milk, she filled their hungry bellies. With poetry and sports, she replaced killing, shaping them into healthy and proud individuals. Today, Headmistress Cynthia has transformed into a golden butterfly ascending to the heavens, or, more fittingly, soaring into our hearts, igniting our passion to build even more havens of hope. See, this is the equation that gives me happiness and hope. I will admit, at the beginning, I didn't know how this could possibly be related to propagation or harmony, because I was like, this is, I don't know, it just feels very out of touch, especially with the things we encountered in the past propagation equation series. That being said though, I see it now. I like how this person took in children and made sure that they would not propagate hatred and like suffering like they were brought upon. Because they mentioned like, oh, they used sports to replace killing. And I like how from being in desperate positions where these people could have went on and seeked revenge, now they are like really well established people. They want to keep moving forward, and I find the message as a whole sweet. Cocoon Dressmaker. Have you ever seen a garment maker of butterfly wings? Ever since the fall of Mnestia, they have become rare to find. Not all beings are as fortunate as the mountain dwellers, born with Kefali as their template. The sirens of Fagusa, the wondrous beasts of Aquila, and countless creations and titankins yearning for rebirth had once received the guidance of the Gilded One. Just like Mnestia, They were wrapped within cocoons of golden threads, and later, their souls were woven into humanoid forms. The reasons are always frivolous, either love for a mortal or the desire to duel a hero in the arena. Yet war ultimately destroyed it all. Unable to betray its creator, my beloved shed its shell at dawn and fluttered those enchanted wings. Okay, this one is really interesting because if I am understanding this correctly, Sirens of Fagusta and like the literal beasts of Aquila can, through the powers of Mnestia, transform into human beings? Is that what I'm understanding here? Because if so, then that leads to a lot of different potential, like, little plot lines that I think would be really cool to see, but also horrifying as hell. I don't know how to feel about this one, but it's intriguing. Home of Odes. It's a pity that I cannot accompany you, my friend. We are about to eradicate that detestable group, a deranged cult that preys on children. They give each of the children a poem that glorifies a past entwined with inhuman torture. The child named Korinki was forced to strangle a venomous snake at the age of 3, while Decamos played the harp until their pinky snapped. To fulfill the delusions of the Mad One, how many youths have been deprived of their lives, never becoming Korinki, only to drown in despair? And how many are on their way to becoming them until they fall from the peak of Mount Tilkoya? Even as we speak, the wicked rituals continue, all to recreate the legends of heroes with the same tragic past. Okay, this one is really concerning, but also really interesting. Because I was confused at first until like everything made sense. This is not the actual Decamos or the actual Korinki. These are children that are named literally like those heroes that we have seen in some of the other equations. So, a little plug. But yeah, some of these individuals that we have seen in other equations were heroes of legend. So they're grabbing children with the same name, trying to make them relive those lives to revive the hero, but then a lot of these either die in the process or end up dying the same way that the heroes did, which is really freaking concerning. Romance's Miracle. This is a tale of love and propagation inscribed on a stone tablet. This is the miracle of Mnestia, the chrysalis of gold. The god of beauty and love was so fragile that even a torrential rain could break their wings. The Titankins, bearing the creator's image, hid beneath leaves, weeping. They pray to the gods for blessings. Born for such torment, why should we bother to flap our wings again? Hearing their prayers, the chrysalis of gold scattered their shimmering scale dust, covering the wings of the Titankins and granting them hundreds and thousands of offsprings. Their bodies grew heavy with the dust, and their lives shortened. Bees and butterflies danced among flowers, only to age and die in a moment. Yet hatched from eggs, their offsprings continued the endless dance. Oh, fragile butterfly, life is short. Why not dance to another tune? Okay, this is intriguing. For a moment there, I was like making an assumption for a second because I forgot that Titan kin are not the Titan, but like the creations of the Titan. So I was about to say, like, is Propagation the last path of Amphorius? No, it's just like they decided to create more things. But at the same time, it is still very intriguing how willingly all of this life, even if artificial, was just created out of nowhere. I do like seeing more of this side of the Titankin, because the only Titankin that we had interacted until 3.2 was the creations of Nikador, and now that we have expanded further and we've seen some from like the Sky People, all of these look really intriguing and concerning. Especially that one guy whose name escapes me right now that appeared in 3.2. Yeah, I want to know more about the Titankin now, both because of the 3.2 quest, but also because of this equation. Like, I don't know, it just seems really intriguing. And yeah, with that, we have gone over the lore of every single equation that can be found in the Protean Hero as of 3.2, that is in the Propagation. And in all honesty, I really enjoyed all the way through, because every single time I read these, I get more context about Amphorius. I am huge on Greek mythos, so like, all of this just makes me incredibly happy, because I love the fact that there is so much, like there's so many references to Greek mythology and other stories that it makes me really happy. Additionally, now that I've almost done with 3.2 in the Trailblaze mission, there are a couple things that I would like to explain about previous equations that I have covered, but I'm not going to talk about them just yet. I'll probably mention them at the end of the series, so when we do the 8th chapter of this, to give time for people to also catch up with the story. I don't want to spoil anything, but I definitely learned more things about Fagusa, I learned more about Thanatos, and so on and so forth, that I do wish to expand upon, and some of these might be spoilers, hence why I would like to wait. Still, regardless of it all, I have been loving every moment of this story. I have been having so much fun, and I'm hoping you guys have had as much fun as well. Thank you oh so much for watching all the way up to this point into the video. You all are absolutely amazing. As always, I love reading your guys' comments. All of your insights really help me expand as well my knowledge on these things. And I feel like I definitely want to do a video at some point, maybe like a addendum video of the equations where I talk about some of the things that you guys have also taught me throughout this process. I think that would be cool to have. So I'll be looking to see if I can make something on that. And I'm hoping I can. I'm not gonna promise anything because I can be stupid sometimes. That being said though, thank you so much for sticking all the way up to this point. You all are great. I keep saying that so many times, but it's just because you all make me so happy. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whatever time zone you're currently watching this video at. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.